As always, I have to check and make sure that my audio. All right. All right. So I'm not late. You all were just very eager to see me because sorry, I had both of my audio going, so I threw myself off. But I am not late. You all were just eager to be here because if you caught it early, I'm not gonna gaslight you all, but I originally had this schedule for like 8:30, but I had to prep because I feel like this is gonna be a lot. So I had to kind of like prepare myself. So excuse my lateness, my tardiness, but we're here. We're gonna get into this reading. I didn't get any questions from anybody in the comments when I posted this on the community tab. I was asking exactly kind of like what questions you all wanted to see if we did a One Direction reading. But I'm wondering if this is something where I'm just going to have to change it and we're going to do something that's more focused on Liam, because if you don't know, he did recently pass. I think that was like late. That was on the 16th. He passed away sometime late that night. Because I remember like looking it up because I was doing a reading on Jay-Z and Beyonce, which you all should go watch and see because I've been seeing some other tarot readers getting some of kind of like the same information that I was getting. So yeah, definitely look into that. But if you all do have any questions or something in particular that you are wanting to see, or you have like a question on, please let me know. The lighting is not weird. That's really how I have my light set up right now. They're kind of like in a dimmer mode right now. So no, your screen isn't tripping. That's really the lighting. That's really what it is. You see, it's no lag, no delay. So just for any of you all who are wondering about that, if you tend to have seizures or anything like that, sorry. But yes, that's kind of just how I have it set up right now. That's the mood that I am in. But now that I've said all of that, hello everyone. If you are new here, my name is LotusMaje. I am a self-taught diviner and I am an intuitive reader. And today, as you see in the thumbnail, you see in the title, more than likely we are going to be focusing on Liam Payne because, as I stated earlier, he did pass away earlier this week. And you know, there's a lot of speculation around how he passed away and what was going on, and a lot of the like his last moments and stuff like that. There was a nasty thing where TMZ just hasn't learned, put out pictures of his body as proof that, well, at least parts of his body. I know it was like his arm and his torso, as proof that, you know, they knew about his passing and stuff like that, that they seen him and they posted those pictures. Hi, sweetheart. You're going to have to get from up underneath the computer, though, for you unplug something. But yes, sorry, I have the puppy. I'm out. Thank you. I don't know if you all can hear her, but that was something that was going on recently, and so a lot of people was very disturbed by that, and TMZ just hasn't learned. Because I remember not too long ago, at least it feels like not too long ago, I remember they had the same case where something similar happened with Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and the mom sued them, his wife sued them. So yeah, TMZ just don't learn. But again, if there is a question or anything in particular you all have, please feel free to drop it down in the chat and I will get around to it. But I figure the reason why you all probably want a One Direction reading in particular is probably because you all want to know I guess the state that the other band members are in because of Liam's passing. Because I do, at least as far as I understand, I do understand that there has been kind of a tumultuous relationship between them and Liam. I think even with each other, there's a bit of a rocky relationship that they have. But I'm going to go from there. I'm just going to pick up on their energies and how they kind of feel about Liam's passing. And then we're going to save the big one for the end here, where we're going to kind of get into like the last, or at least try to kind of get into what were some of the things that was going on with Liam, you know, towards the end. So again, if this is a topic that's too heavy for you, I kind of laid out the ground of what we're going to do here. So yes, you're more than welcome to leave or come back at another time when you're better, or you're able to handle this, because it is going to probably be a heavy topic. I can't tell you ahead of time what I'm going to get, so I try to warn you as much as possible at the beginning. Now, on top of that, because this is an intuitive reading, it's an energetic reading. I'm not some medium or a psychic, okay? At least as far as I know, I don't have those powers. I can't say that I'm going to exactly get this one for one. You're just going to have to take what I say with a grain of salt. Do not take it and run to the hills with it. This is not the end all be all. Maybe some of the things I'm going to pick up is just going to help formulate your opinion or what you were getting or picking up on intuitively. That's it. Do not take it as if I'm some gossip blogger. I'm taking this from, some first party experience from somebody that know him. I don't know any of these celebrities. I'm not married to any outcome. I'm not a fan of One Direction. And yeah, so I have no bias one way or the other. So I just want to get that out of the way. So now that we have that off there, I'm just going to shuffle these cards because, see, I had to cleanse these before. See, it's a lot of prep behind the scenes that go into this. But I'm going to shuffle these cards here. And I guess, who should we do first? Oh, I'm about to forget the most important part. You see this little scroll across the bottom? Well, it's not really a scroll, but you see this statement along the bottom here where it says all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes. Yeah, that's on the screen for a reason, okay? Because I don't want anybody, not only because I'm afraid of being sued or anything like that, but this is for entertainment purposes. Again, I'm liable to get something wrong, and I don't want anyone to kind of like think I'm purposely slandering them or trying to I don't know, go after them in one way or another. I'm simply doing this to kind of just formulate my own opinion. If you happen to believe what I say or something I say resonates with you, fine. But don't be married to any one thing. Always, always use your powers of, what do I always say? I know it starts with a D and I'm forgetting about it right now. But always tap into your own tuition and come to your own interpretation and decision on things, okay? Who should we do first? Because I don't remember all of the band members because, as I said, I am not a 1D fan. So, should we do Niall Horn? Because I think that was the last person he kind of had any connection with, at least as far as I know. I know he went to Niall Horn's concerts. Was that in Ireland or Scotland? You can correct me. But let's see what's kind of like Niall Horn's energy with the passing of Liam. Okay. So, as you see, I have a card sticking out to the side. We do have the Star. Okay, what is this one? Kind of wants to come out. We have the Nine of Swords. Okay. Okay, and then I had a book there. Hold on. Let's see what's really meant to fall out here. And it fell on the floor. So what I have is the Six of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, so with the Star being here, especially with it being at the upright, it usually reads to like hope. But then what's throwing me off is that we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. And this, typically I kind of read it as like you need to let go of something. There may be understandably some kind of like mental blockage or something going on here. There's some hard emotions maybe that you're kind of like working through. And then I see the Six of Pentacles here as well, and but this is coming up in the upright. So typically the Six of Pentacles is kind of like, if I scratch your back, you scratch mine. It's kind of like reciprocal energy, give or take, give and take, sorry. But then we also have the Three of Wands. So this is like, I think he's kind of going back and forth on being detached, like not quite believing what's happening, but then almost like accepting or like coming to terms that this is happening. Oh, and then we have the Devil in reverse. What does he feel trapped by? And then the Queen of Pentacles. And all of these are coming up in reverse, oddly enough. But the Three of Swords is in the upright. I wonder, did him and Liam probably had some kind of conversation or something before he passed away? That's kind of what I'm getting right now. But let's see. Let's get more details here. Can I get more details? See what else we get here. Okay, I'm not surprised that this card came out. We have the Lost card here, so yeah, that makes sense. And then we have criticisms with the Nine of Swords and criticisms. Does he not like the conversation that is coming up around Liam? Because like I have seen a lot of negative talk under like posts and blogs and stuff about his passing. And then we have devotion here with the Six of Pentacles. And notice what the bird looks like on here. You see that? You see how has one bird laying down on the ground and the other one is kind of watching? And what is the underlying? Then we have the principle. This mostly translates to kind of like the Hierophant card to me, the principle card. Principle and the birth and reverse, and then rebellion. There, I don't know. It's something that he's having a hard time reconciling about Liam's passing. That I feel like I'm getting with Neil, or Niall. I don't know how you actually pronounce his name. I feel like there's something he's having a hard time like reconciling about his passing. Whether it's, I feel like what the feeling is, the best way I can describe it, it's like, you know, when you have to tell somebody something, but now you would never get the chance to say it. Or you did talk to this person, you got to say what you wanted to say, but maybe you don't feel happy about how it maybe came out or how you addressed it. And so like now it's the last thing that keeps like replaying in your head, like the conversation, or the last interaction that you had with this person. Or it could be something along the lines of like, you know, I was so annoyed when I seen you last time, and only if I knew then what I knew now, I would have took the time to kind of like, I don't know, come up to you or hang out with you or do this or say this, and I'm upset, or I feel robbed of the opportunity that I didn't get to do that. That's kind of like what the feeling is. Okay, let's see what this other card is. But these cards totally make sense. At least the Oracle of the Radiant Sun cards make sense. Okay, I'm gonna note these. So we have the priest. Remember, I was just talking about I got the Hierophant card, or what I would call the Hierophant card in this deck with the principal here. But we actually have the priest here, perseverance and faith. We have the cartographer, a crossroads, an exploration, and then we have the poet, relationships and vulnerability. Let's see. Putting one there, I'm putting one in the middle, and I'm putting one on the bottom. We're going to see what actually comes out. Okay. I just need one, thank you. I didn't need all of that. Okay, and then we have the catalyst, radical changes taking control. Radical changes taking control with the star card. Is I don't know, because I haven't been keeping up with all of the news. Has he already spoken out already? Neil, has he already spoken out about this or gave kind of like a statement through his reps or something? I feel like there's more that he wants to say. There's something that he would like to do or take action on. I don't know. I mean, which is understandable. But I kind of pick up like a brotherly thing. Like I could still not like you, but I don't like that other people are kind of like doing this to you, because I still have, I don't know, a modicum of respect or admiration or love or whatever the case may be for you. And then we have, oh, the fate here. Accepting help, guidance. Did he try to tell Liam about his issues? Does he feel guilty? I don't know what that is. The puppeteer, explanations and apologies. Yeah, I don't know, what's this guilt feeling that I'm picking up on? Explanations and apologies. And then we have the adventurer coming up underneath. We have responsibility and expectations, and then investigation and research, and then we have self-worth and trade. What is he? To me, again, it feels like there's either some guilt, some animosity, a grudge, or something like a regret that I didn't say, or I did say this and that was the last thing I said, or that I didn't say. Like I thought it and I didn't say it. I had these thoughts and these feelings, but I didn't act on them, or I did act on those thoughts and feelings, and now I feel bad because that was our last interaction. Yeah, that's not really getting a clear bead on that one, to be honest, but I am going to move forward. I'm going to see what I'm going to get for who is the next person I should do. Let's do, should I do Zayn or should I do Louis? Let's do Louis or Louis. Again, I don't know how you pronounce these men's names. So if I am butchering it, my bad. I'll just say Mr. Tomlinson, if that's the case. But I don't think I'm butchering it that bad. Okay, we have one card already out. Oh, the world's in reverse. Okay, I just want to note that this flipped over in the deck. I just kind of want to read it. We have the Eight of Cups. And here, I'm just trying to shuffle, and I keep getting stuff that's like flipping over. I usually like to read my cards when they fall out. or you know, they're sticking out to the side, but you see that there with the Tower. Okay, so we have Temperance, and then we have the Ace of Wands here. So usually the world is kind of like an incomplete cycle, something that didn't get to finish, something that is left incomplete, essentially. And then we have the Temperance here. So usually the Temperance card to me is kind of like an equal balance of something. Again, kind of like on the lines of what the Six of Coins kind of feels like to me. Sand and everything. It kind of feels like, I don't know, time wasted, or we just let time get by, we let time slip by kind of thing. But it also feels like, you know, I feel like maybe emotionally depleted or unfulfilled from this relationship, or I didn't get something out of it and I felt like you got more, or vice versa. Maybe you poured into me more than I poured into you and I feel guilty about that. I try to leave that open because who knows. And then we also have the Ace of Wands. All of Townsend's cards are coming up in reverse too, might I add. We also have the Ace of Wands here. And what I hear with the Ace of Wands is like the Thief of Joy. I don't know why that's coming up, but like Thief of Joy. And I don't know if Lewis felt like Liam robbed him of a lot of joy and happiness, or, you know, it was vice versa, where, you know, Lewis robbed Liam of a lot of joy. I don't know them like that, so I can't really give with clarity what that kind of relationship or feeling was, but that's kind of what the Ace of Wands feel like. It's not coming through clear for me which side kind of feels more used or taken advantage of, but I'm hearing like Thief of Joy come up. Oh, look, and I like to read from the bottom of the deck here. Look what comes up on the bottom of the deck. Again, this came out for Neil, but it's coming up at the bottom of the deck for Lewis. The Six of Pentacles. Now, you've seen I shuffled this deck. Why is this coming up again? But this time it's coming up in the upright. Like, okay, I'm ready to move on. Or I have moved on. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is kind of like stingy card. It's I'm taking it back. It's the, what they call it, I want to say like penny pincher, but that's not the word. But it's kind of like that. I'm reclaiming my time. It's giving Maxine Waters. I want my time. I want my stuff back. Let's get some more clarity on why this World card is showing up here for Lewis. Why is this coming up right here? Or Louis. Okay. So this is what fell out first. Drama. Oh, what is this? And I shuffled this deck. Okay. The same cards is coming out. The same cards are coming out. Criticism, devotion. Okay, again, I'm putting this back in here and I'm going to shuffle this again. Shall we? You see that? You hear that? Okay. I'm going to do it one more time. All right. So let's try this again. Okay, so I'm going to note these because they flipped over. We have endurance. This is kind of giving like, I'm tired. I no longer want to deal with this. This might be, again, it kind of gives the energy of like things ran its course. So I'm ready to go, letting go. Then we have restlessness, and then affair. Why would that come out? Okay, fear. Okay, here we go. Escape. Okay. That makes sense for that temperance card there. Why are we getting the Ace of Wands here? Okay. Optimism. It's funny. The optimism card come out, and when the Ace of Wands fell out, I was getting the word or I was hearing Thief of Joy come up in my head. But then we have optimism coming up in reverse. Like, did Liam and Louis or Thomason, if I'm butchering his name, did they not get along? Did they argue a lot? Like, I kind of feel like he was happy to get away from him. I don't know in the sense of like he's happy that this happened to Liam. I'm not gonna go that far, but I do think he was happy to kind of like get away from him, to no longer be in his presence. That's something I'm getting. Loud and clear. Look, exaltation, decision. What is this one? Ostentation. Don't know that one. Let's look it up, shall we? I'm not going to actually act like I even know what that word mean right now. What is that one? Taurus. Ostentation. This card deals with timing. The effects of this card are not easy to throw off and may maintain their pressure for a long period. Although one may be doing the right thing in terms of ambition and economics, it would not usually make the questioner very popular. Did he feel like... Okay, that's interesting. So what I'm getting from that, did he feel like essentially Liam was like a clout chaser? Like, yeah, you did a lot to kind of like help make us money or to get us far, but you were such an a-hole. Like, business wise, you were cool, but you weren't a nice person to be around. I don't know. And then let's see here. We'll be getting with... All right, what else is coming up here? Okay, we have two. We have pathless, difficult decisions. Okay, yeah, what's up with the decisions? Because that's been coming up a lot. And then the adventurer, responsibility and expectations. Who wasn't taking responsibility for something? It kind of feels like somebody was left holding the bag. Like, I didn't actually do it, but because I was caught with the bag, everybody assumes it was me. And then we have the cartographer. Didn't this come up for Niall too? I think it came up underneath. It was the underlying card, the cartographer, crossroads, exploration. It feels like now, I don't know, things have become kind of like clear for him. The pathway has become clear for him. Or the choice has now become clear. What is that? Why would he... And it's funny we get the muse here because with the Ace of Wands, it's usually like that spark of passion. It's the creative card. It's what drives you. It's your spark of life card, essentially, with the Ace of Wands. And so when I see the muse coming up here underneath, this kind of relates to that same vein or energy. And notice with this one, it also shows with the cups as well. So it's like, what drives you? What emotionally makes you feel whole? What pushes you forward? Where's these emotions that come from that spark your creativity? But it's coming up in reverse, and it reads generosity and naivete. And then we have the spy master here. It says knowledge and distrust. Oh, he didn't trust this man at all. The vengeance, overcoming slights, a choice. And what else comes up again? So I'm not even looking that it says the merchant. I'm just looking that it has like the scales here. And that makes me think of like scales of justice. But it makes me feel like because it's coming up in reverse, you didn't answer for something. You didn't take responsibility for something. What What did he not take? I'm assuming this is Tomlinson feeling like Liam didn't take responsibility for something. What did he not take responsibility for? And then we have this vengeance card, which makes me think of like violence, essentially, with this, like with the rope in here, the anchor kind of like weighing you down. Something really weighed you down. It kind of gives like bully energy. Yeah, that's more so what that is. It's like, this was my high school bully. So how would you feel if you found out your high school bully passed away? You know, how would you feel if your high school bully passed away? Would you not think one way or the other about it? Would you be happy? Would you kind of breathe a breath of relief? That's what I'm getting with Tomlinson. It's kind of like my high school bully passed away. How do you think I feel? How should I feel? Let's look into, I'm gonna save Harry for last because I know he's like the bigger one in the group. So let's look at Zayn's feelings here on Liam. Okay, look at this. We have the Seven of Swords here. Okay, Seven of Swords. I don't think they had a great relationship either. I think it was tumultuous with them too. Why does it seem like he only had a good relationship so far with Niall? What's up with that? Were they like the older ones in the group, maybe? Is that why they got along more? I need a One Direction fan to kind of answer these questions. Or did it at least appear that they got along better? Okay, and the other two cards we are getting here is the Emperor in reverse and then the Two of Wands in the upright. You know what this is giving me overall? Say your siblings that all stay in a house together and maybe you have like neglectful or abusive parents. And so each of the children kind of cope in their own way, but one of them embodies the same behavior as the parents. And everyone can't wait to get away from them, like especially because they're like maybe the older one or the second to oldest, or they just have more of a domineering personality. That's kind of what the energy is giving me so far with the energy readings that I'm getting between Liam and his band or ex-band members, ex-bandmates. It's kind of like they were like, think of like their management team or something like that as being the parents in this situation. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, maybe Liam embodied that, or he took a lot of it on, but in turn he also kind of maybe turned that same energy on his band members. And I think they didn't like that with him either. And so it's kind of like, yeah, you're all siblings that survived in a house together, but you each took something different from it. You each took a different path. And you all couldn't wait to get away from the parents, aka the industry, and the one sibling or whatever that kind of took on the same personality. So you just rather not deal with them. That's what I'm getting overall with this energy between Liam and his ex-band members. Because with the Emperor being here, it's kind of like someone you feel who is abusing their powers. They are someone who is like very domineering. There's someone who can tend to be very abusive, very manipulative as well. The Seven of Swords, I'm just getting like, it feels very like tumultuous, very heavy, very unresolved issues that's going on here. And then with the Two of Wands coming up, it's kind of like, I'm getting the heck out of here. I am moving on. I can't wait to get away. And I did. You didn't think I could do it, and I did. That's the energy that I'm getting here with Zayn. Now, mind you, talk about parents. And then I get the Four of Wands, kind of like the energy that I was getting. You got the Four of Wands here coming up in reverse. And for those of you who don't know tarot, the Four of Wands coming up in this reading is kind of like that home life. It's the family, the structure. It's you know, the energies of kind of like a married couple, whether you're working together or not. But to me, this feels like this was not the best relationship. It was very, at least on Zayn's side of things, it feels like this was not a very happy place for me. This was abusive. I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I always felt like I was playing mind games. There was always something that I couldn't do right. That's kind of like the Four of Wands give me. It gives me like abusive or like neglectful family structure. And then the Hierophant. And so the Hierophant comes above the Emperor. So taking my analogy that I had earlier, say again, the Hierophant, it could be the music industry. It could be their managers or something like that. Like, hey, we got these directives. We want you to do this and that. We're helping you lead the way. We're training you. We're giving you the tools you need to survive. But the person that they're giving the tools and the knowledge and stuff to, because, you know, the Hierophant is over the Emperor. Think of it like Pope and King back in the day. The Pope is relaying the divine orders to the king and stuff like that. He's the only one who can hold him in check. But at the end of the day, the king is still very, very much like, or the emperor is still very much like, I can throw you out of power too. King Henry, anyone? Was that the 8th? You know, live, beheaded, survive. And then we have the Sun in reverse here as well. So some unhappy, some unresolved feelings. Again, with the red being here, so this brings up, again, passion, fiery energy. It could be negative energy, something very powerful, despondent kind of energy, things you would rather forget or not deal with anymore. That's funny. All of that came up underneath after I said that. Let's see what else is going to come out here. Let's see if we get some more clarity. Let's get some more clarity on why this Seven of Swords is coming up with Zayn's feelings and energies towards Liam. Okay, we have a card sticking out here to the side. Oh, excuse me. Order. Order? I keep getting the feeling that Liam was like the dad of the group. I keep getting the feeling like Liam was the dad of the group. Look, endurance. I'm tired of it. You are abusing your power. Look at how this man is like wrestling this lion in a headlock and stuff. You are abusing your power. This gives me straight up Leo energy. I know it has a sun here, but it says Scorpio. So yeah, it kind of gives like abusive energy. And that would make sense. The Emperor is ruled by Mars. The sun with Scorpio here. Scorpio and Aries are ruled by Mars. Or they kind of like I guess you can kind of say co-parented by Mars. So it's kind of like Scorpios, well, most people would tend to say Aries are dark too, but I think of Scorpios as kind of like the darker side of things. Because, you know, Scorpios are related to sex, death, and rock and roll, baby, okay? Yeah, Aries be ready to wage a war, but, you know. And then what is coming up here? Enthusiasm. This is just tracking with what I'm saying. I see, because if I remember correctly, and my memory is crap. If I remember correctly, Zayn was the first one to leave the group. And then I think soon after you heard about everybody else leaving or the band breaking up. And I think at the time there were rumors and stuff about Zayn wanting to leave because he was dealing with, okay, I kind of feel like choked up I don't know. Okay, but I kind of feel like I remember, if I remember correctly, again, at the same time, Zayn, you know, everything was coming out about Zayn leaving One Direction. There were allegations and rumors of that he was facing racial attacks, or he dealt with like racism or something within the group or whatever, or maybe it could have just been in the country, and I think that was another reason why he kind of just really wanted to go. So I wonder if this is all of that. This is just kind of like, again, I feel like Liam was charged with being like the father, the leader of the group, and he became overbearing with his power, and Zayn was happy to leave. Again, I don't know if all of that was true at the time Zayn was leaving or whatnot, but yes. And look at this. What comes up underneath? Speculation. What else we have? Fulfillment. I'm ready to cut my deal and run. I'm ready to get out of here. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm ready to travel and move on elsewhere. Why am I working so hard? Why am I the one doing all of this? And no, I don't need to do. And look what comes up again. This devotion card. But Zayn's this time comes up in reverse. This has popped up for each member of the band that have done the reading on so far. We haven't gotten to Harry yet, but this has popped up in each one of their readings. And again, look at how this bird is laying on the ground, how they're looking. I have to read this one. What does this say in the book? Is that Libra? I want to say that's Libra. Yep. So in a reading, this card indicates the danger that the questioner may, in a desire to please all, promise more than he or she can possibly achieve. This results in a hopeless situation of attempting to meet obligations that cannot successfully be completed. Taking part in a legal case, drawing up an agreement of importance, a relationship with a great age difference, a long-lasting marriage. Oh, wow. Take from that what you will. That has come up for each one of the boys so far. I'm just saying. Okay, hold on. I gotta go tell somebody to be quiet because I don't know if you all can hear that. Hold on. I will BRB. All right. Sorry about that. Kids playing their games. Okay, let's see here. Ooh. Did I have two cards? So this one fell on the floor. This is the Queen, Determination, and Sacrifice. But I'm getting, I refuse to be your sacrifice. I refuse to do the work. I refuse to do something. I refuse to do something. What did Zayn refuse to do? Okay, notice, got this card sticking out to the side. The Alchemist. Balance, invention, destruction. When I see alchemist, I think of someone who is very like creative, someone who tends to be innovative. Did he refuse to kind of like create something, do something? Were they getting ready to do like, I don't know, filming of some kind? And somebody was going to be portrayed in a, I don't know where this is coming from. Okay, I may just be pulling this out my butt, but I kind of get the feeling like there was some kind of production of something involved. It could have been an album, it could have been a documentary. I don't know. It could have been a video album or something like that, a video essay or something. I feel like it's some kind of production here. Um, and I don't think Zayn liked the way they were going to try to portray him. Again, I may just be pulling that out of thin air. I don't know what that is. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes. Okay, sticking out to the side again. The shepherd. Remember my analogy earlier, my example? We have the shepherd, and what does that say at the bottom there? Celebration, family. Huh. In the underlying cards we have here, we have the Walker, Unknown Journey. We have the Weaver, which deals with rediscovery and transition. And then we also have the Scholar, Investigation and Research. This came up for Neil as well, or Niall, if I'm butchering his name. Mr. Horn, that came up for him as well. And I think it came up in reverse too. I just keep seeing the word portrayal. Like, how are you portraying me? Not betrayal, portrayal. How are you portraying me? How are you trying to show me? What are you trying to, like, why are you trying to malign my character? That's interesting. Okay. Again, maybe some Wine Directioner fans can shed some more light on that. That's just what I'm getting. Now, as you see here, I'm going to shuffle these again. Okay, we're shuffling it again. And we are going to see what's up with Harry's energies and feelings towards Liam. Let's see what's coming up here. Okay, I feel like one flipped over in here. No, I was tripping. Okay. Want to make sure. Not reading that booklet, but I am going to split these up so they don't all come out again. They're meant to be here. They'll stick. They'll stick out. Yep. And what do you know? We have the Two of Cups. This was to the side. And I shuffled same way. Sun in reverse. We also have the Two of Cups here. So again, this is like no love lost. Again, the relationship ran its course. We were ready to break away because with the Two of Cups coming up in reverse, it's kind of like, you know, this relationship is no longer on. We're not seeing eye to eye anymore. And what is this one that just fell out? We have the Fool, but it's coming up in reverse. What false step, misstep happened here? This feels more so like running away and not like, I feel like it's a difference between retreating to fight another day versus running away. Like, one feels more shameful or like worse than the other. That's the only way I can explain it right now. And again, I explained the Sun card to you, and I just explained the Two of Cups. Like, this was a bad relationship. We're no longer on the same page. We're not seeing eye to eye. Yet again, all of these are coming up in reverse. What do we have underneath here? The Death card in reverse. a harsh transition, a transition you didn't want to happen, some kind of moving on, some kind of shedding, some kind of letting go, that is happening or that was forced upon you when you weren't ready, or that you, or in a way that you didn't want, maybe, with the death card coming up here, because the death card to me kind of gives like transformation, metamorphosis kind of energy, but it was forced upon you, was maybe too early, or it was too late, or whatever the case may be, it didn't come in the way that you wanted, etc., etc. And then we have the Hermit in the upright. So yeah, I needed some time alone, needed to be by myself, some isolation. And this, the one good thing about this is because with the Hermit being upright, it's usually like, okay, I went out on my own. I needed to be by myself. It's like a self-imposed isolation instead of like a banishment. Usually is what I get when it's in reverse with the Hermit. And then we have the Magician. It goes from death. He has a lot of major arcana. I just noticed that for underneath the energies here. What is next? Okay, Queen of Swords. That's funny. The death card comes up, but like, I didn't want it to happen this way. This was harsh. It wasn't the way I wanted things to kind of like end, or things to go, but I needed it, or it allowed me the opportunity to kind of like reflect on things, learn some things, and then I was able to come back stronger. I was able to create some things. I was able to get my own messaging out there. I was able to maybe like, I'm hearing individuality. Like I was able to step outside the box or something like that. Did Harry not play as big of a role in One Direction? Was he kind of like overshadowed in One Direction? Like, were people not expecting him to kind of blow up as big as he is? It kind of feels like maybe a little bit of self-doubt, but more so like, everybody else believed I wasn't going to be anything. So, I took a risk and luckily it paid off kind of thing. Again, you see me shuffling these cards. I just want to make sure you hear it and everything. What's up with this sun? Why is the sun coming up here? Appreciation. Now this moon with the Leo, Leos are usually exalted in the sun. It's that Apollo energy. Is very like, look at me. The sun is shining on me. I am everything. Everything is wrapped around me. Things move and sway with every breath that I take. You're all fawning over me, but it's coming up in reverse. And it's with the moon. So it's kind of like being overshadowed, overlooked. Again, that word portray. I'm being portrayed in a certain way that I'm not. I don't like that. Or not being portrayed at all. Like I'm not getting enough screen time. And, quarrel. Bluff. With the Fool? The quarrel and the Two of Cups, I'm just telling you right now, I'm giggling on the inside. It's just reinforcing again, like this relationship ran its course. And again, I would be amiss to not mention that this is kind of like on that same energy or pedestal with Tomlinson's energy, where it was very much like, I'm so happy to get away from my high school bully. Like I couldn't stand you. You made my life a living hell. That's kind of what this is giving. You made my time here when it could have been something beautiful and worth it all. You made it a living hell for me when it could have been something nice. Now, it's interesting to me here that we have the Bluff card here with the Fool. I want to say it's kind of giving call you on your bluff energy. But with the Fool coming up in reverse, it's kind of like, well, you fumbled somewhere. Like you lied. But then the cards that we are getting underneath is optimism. I can very much see that because we did have the magician and the hermit in the upright here. We also have, okay, I'm understanding what this is. Harry felt like he was downplayed in a way, or that like not enough people believed in him. And then lo and behold, he became what he is now today. He's like a household name. Again, as far as I know, I feel like him and Zayn are like the bigger ones out of the group. No disrespect to anybody else. I just know I've heard about them more than anybody else. And Niall, because recently, because I think he just came out with another album. But it's just like he had to find his own encouragement, his own belief in himself, and he was able to do that once the band broke up. Like he was able to find somebody who didn't make him feel like crap or dumped on him and everything else. Like he had to go on a journey of self-discovery, and once he did, once he got away from the group or whatever, things started to really turn the corner for him. And notice we have the butterflies here with the discrimination card. Remember I was saying about the death, metamorphosis, butterflies. He had to go through like a ugly duckling phase, a transformation. He had to go find himself. He had to believe in himself again. Like, or for the first time ever. Like he was able to find that once he left 1D. And I don't know if Liam made him feel that way, or you know, the environment the boys were in all together. They were pretty young, as I think they were probably all teenagers at the time. So it makes complete sense why you kind of, you know, you're growing up in front of the world and you don't feel confident about yourself. And on top of that, I think on X Factor they were getting ready to be eliminated, but then they ended up putting them in the group and they became this big thing. So yeah. So I can only imagine what that whole journey was like emotionally, mentally, physically. I can only imagine. I am not reading these. I'm going to throw these all around in here. Let's try this again. What are we getting here for this? For Harry. Okay, and there's the 3 cards. Because this is flipped over. Okay, so we have the Awaker, Awareness, Reflection. Again, going back to that Hermit energy, we have the Founder, which is Foundations and Community. Again, this just kind of feels like he did not feel like he had the support team, the backing, you know, somebody pouring into him, the belief, like somebody bigging him up. He didn't have that, and he kind of either had to find that for himself, or he had to find that community that cultivated that for him. And again, it feels like things became better for Harry once he left. Again, the example I gave earlier is like these boys essentially were all in the same household together. You know, they were under one parent, whether it was kind of, you know, the parent could be the management team or the agency or whatever they were assigned to. And it kind of feels like Liam was assigned like the parent or the dad or the older sibling who had to be responsible for his younger siblings, because mom and dad, aka quote unquote the industry, their management team was just too busy doing other things, managing other people, leaving it kind of like up to them to pull through and do what they needed to do. But on top of that, I think there were kind of like some abusive behaviors. Not saying like it was overall from everybody that they worked with, but it could have been a few people here and there, you know, that's rubbed off like negative behaviors or said negative things to them. And I kind of feel like Liam either internalized a lot of that and blew it back out on his other band members, and or there was a thing of like he maybe shielded them from a lot of it and took the brunt of it. And it's kind of like, well, you don't know what I took on. Like you thought you had it bad, but you don't realize what I took on in the midst of it. And then we have the witch, experimentation, and rebellion. It's funny that both Zayn and Harry is both getting kind of like this rebellious energy. Of like I'm giving pushback, like I didn't like this. Like I was happy to go away. And another thing I'm hearing is kind of I'm happy I was able to lean into what you told me not to do, and it I don't know, it benefited me in some way. You told me not to do this because people were going to interpret it or think of me in one way. But I felt it was right for me to do. But because of what you said, I decided not to do it. But now that I am solo and I leaned into it, or I ignored your advice and did what I wanted to, I kind of find out it wasn't that bad. So I think that's what the bluff is here with the fool, because I was saying like it's giving like liar, like I called you on your bluff. It's like you told me not to do something, or you warned me against something, thinking you were helping me, or you were just being manipulative, but come to find out it was actually what I should have been doing in the first place, and it benefited me. And then again here, let's read the underlying energies. We have the sailor. This is kind of giving like 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands energy, moving on, wanting to experiment, kind of go outside the box, wanderlust, travel, things like that. Then we also have the twins here, which reads self-protection, dual natures. And then we have the diviner, divine timing and evaluation. Again, kind of going back to that hermit energy. That I needed that time away to heal, to replenish, to find myself again, to rediscover myself, to pour back into me. And it benefited you. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, nothing else is really coming up with that. So again, to me, it kind of feels like all of them, unfortunately, what I'm getting is like all of them were pretty happy to kind of like get away from Liam, or they left things on a like sour note with him, before his passing, with the exception of Neil, like, or Niall. It seems like he's the only one who kind of has some conflicted feelings there, or like neutral feelings when it came to Liam. All right, now we're going to get into the juicy bits of what was going on with Liam here. Like, what was he dealing with before his untimely passing? I'm feeling tension in my shoulders already. Let me get this. Let me cleanse my hands really quick. Okay. This one to come out too. Now with his reading, I don't mind getting more than 3 cards, but it looks like we have 3 cards here. That's it. Okay, nothing else. Okay. So we have the 5 of Cups. I just want to know that I'm getting like a pinch in like my right shoulder blade. And I didn't have it this entire time. So we have the 5 of Cups, and it's coming up in the upright. To me, this is kind of like giving euphoria is the word that's coming to mind. Yeah, euphoria. And then we have Temperance here. Again, it's coming up in the reverse though. So it's kind of like, in this particular deck, I always think of like wasted time, things kind of getting away from me, because you see she's pouring like this vase of sand. feeling depleted emotionally, because usually the water is kind of like emotions in tarot, so it's kind of like feeling depleted emotionally, but or like pouring into something that I shouldn't have, whether again pouring into something or someone emotionally wise, feeling wise. And then we have the Four of Swords, much needed rest, taking a break. Okay, so he was definitely kind of like blowing off steam. Now, you guys, look at what's all coming up underneath. The Magician reverse. We have the Emperor. And then we also have the King of Swords. Oh, and the King of Pentacles. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but I am going to just relate what I'm getting here. Typically, these are like the very manipulative, dominating, overpowering, abusive kind of cards here. The only saving grace right now is that the King of Swords is coming up in the upright. So it's kind of like you use your... who's a good person for this? I'm thinking of, oh my God, what is that movie? It's a comic book character. It came out years ago. I think Michael Jai White played the main character. Spawn. That's what it is. It's kind of like if he was Spawn, he would be that character was like, yeah, I got sent to hell. I'm, the overlord of the underworld, blah blah blah, but I use my powers for good kind of energy. Like, I was exposed to a lot of darkness, there was a lot that I was going through, but I tried to use my powers for good. And that's like the only saving grace here, because the King of Swords come up in the upright. But again, with this Magician and the Emperor card being here, it does kind of feel like at a flick of a switch, he could kind of tend to be, or people could receive what he's doing as being manipulating or domineering or messy, or he could tend to be like explosive. Yeah. That's like really the only saving grace, because the King of Swords came up in the upright. But again, what I'm getting here is like he was trying to blow off steam because of something he was kind of like struggling to deal with. I would also, again, I don't mean to speak ill of the dead. I'm just relaying what I'm getting from the cards. I would be a bad tarot reader if I also did mention that the Temperance card oftentimes do deal with like sobriety. And I know there has been allegations of drugs use. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, I just want to note that. And then we have flirtation here. Okay, that ostentation card is coming out again. Okay, the ostentation card, I'm reading it like clout. It feels like clout card. What didn't work out the way he wanted? Was he trying to seek attention from somebody or call attention to something? And it didn't quite, because with the flirtation card, with the Five of Cups here, Temperance, it's kind of like I was trying to get somebody's attention and it didn't pan out quite the way I wanted. It didn't happen the way that I want, or I meant to do this and instead everything else transpired. Convention and then Power is coming up in reverse. That's funny to me that the Power card is coming up in reverse, and underneath the tarot deck, the Emperor and the King of Cups and the Magician were at the bottom of the deck. Who did he feel was like pulling his card, like showing him up? made him feel stupid, was challenging him in some kind of way that he couldn't kind of figure his way out of. We have friendship underneath here. So I'm figuring it's somebody pretty close. Inspiration. I just said something about like not figuring something out. Somebody was like calling him on his bull crap or like testing him. And then we also have companionship. So something personal, or it could be, or it could be something romantic that kind of stems from this situation. Concentration, escape, extremism. Yeah, I could see him doing some extreme behavior based on these cards. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that there is something here in regards of like, I guess the best example I can come up with right now is kind of like there was somebody I really wanted, you know, guy, girl, whatever, you know, I've seen somebody and I really liked them. I really wanted them. But for whatever reason, either things go sour or, you know, they weren't feeling me. And all of the tactics that I used to use before that worked for me didn't work with this person. And so I figured I had to go to the extreme. I had to kick it up a notch. And so I tempted fate and, you know, said, oh, well, I'll do this if you don't, like, I'll self-exit if you don't answer me, or you don't respond to me, or you don't heed to what I want. And so I had to make you believe it. So I kind of like faked it and it actually happened. Like I didn't really mean for it to happen that way, but yeah, here we go. That's, yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. Mm, okay. Let's see if I will get some more clarity on this. I do think he was struggling with something though, for sure. He was trying to figure something out and he was trying to blow off steam, and maybe he just went a little overboard. Okay, this one wants to jump out. Now, remember I said I'm not even reading this as the actual merchant card, like paying into something self-worth trade. It could be that, but typically when I see the scales like this, it kind of feels like, again, along the lines of like that Six of Pentacles energy. Are you really giving me something? Are you really paying back or answering to what you need to do? But it also makes me think of like Justice, the Libra card. Like there's something you have yet to answer for. And this time it does come up in the upright. I think for everybody else, it was coming up in reverse when I was getting it. Oh, that was a lot of cards. And I am just going to mix them all up in here. I am going to note this one was turned to the side, so I am going to pull it. And this reads, the storyteller, viewpoints and control. I felt out of control. Remember the example I was just giving of like somebody, all the things that I done in the past, they usually got people to heed to what I wanted them to do, to got them to fall in line. It didn't work with this person. And so now I'm feeling like I have to kick it up a notch. I have to go to the next level. What can I do to get this person to heed to what I need them to do, to come to, you know, fall to my knees, or, you know, fall in line. And when they didn't do it and I went to the extreme, it was to my own detriment. That's what this is giving me so far. I was just having a conversation with a friend about this word, and I don't like to throw this around lightly because I feel like people just use it willy-nilly, and I am not a licensed clinician or anything like that, but this is kind of giving what I feel like most people would determine as like narcissistic behavior. Like you have to do what I need you to. And when you don't, yeah, I lose my that's the energy. What is the okay. We have the brawler, lack of empathy, confrontation. So this to me can go one of two ways, especially with it falling out in reverse. Um, I typically go to the physical route. Um, allegedly is kind of like I typically go to the physical route to do things, but that didn't seem to scare you. That didn't seem to work. So what do I do after that? Or this could be on the case of things where I was saying this is kind of giving narcissistic behavior with the lack of empathy. Like, I don't care what you want. I don't care about your feelings. You only need to care about my feelings. I only care about my feelings and I can't see anybody else. Or I would say the third option is it could just be, again, what I was saying earlier of like an explosive personality or some kind of explosive retaliation. Again, that extreme. Like, I think sometimes he can get into like manic moments, whether it's you're on a manic high or a manic low, and depending on where he was, you would get him just very happy, bubbly, just out there ready to do things, party, probably a pleasure to be around. But when he was in that manic low, it was scary. Like, you didn't know how he was going to react. And I'm getting that temperament. Like, he could, and he could probably change in a blink of an eye. And then the achievement downfall with the champion. We also have the forgotten here. It says missed opportunities, fear of failure. That is coming up in reverse. And then we also have the sleeper, cause and effects and clarity for the underlying energies. It's kind of giving like terrible twos. Like, I'm gonna throw a temper tantrum if you don't do what I need you to do. I don't That's something that keeps coming up. Like, I need you to fall in line. I need you to do what I need you to do. I need you to answer my calls. I need you to be able to wing it with me. I need you to be able to be there when I need you to. And I don't care if you feel like once I'm done with you, I kick you to the side or I use you up. You want something from me, I'm not giving that to you. Again, it's kind of on the borderline of what I feel like most people would identify as a narcissist. That's the energy. And I think in at least the days leading up to or in that moment, before his untimely passing, don't mean to speak ill of the dead. I'm just relaying what I'm getting from the cards. It feels like he was blowing off steam, blowing off energy because somebody was not falling in line the way he needed them to. And so because his usual tactics and things didn't work, he upped the ante, and it was an ante that he himself could not pay as well. Like, it was to his own detriment. That is what I'm getting from these cards. I don't know what else to say about that. Well, why did I put that off to the side? So yeah, we almost been on here for an hour and a half. I don't see any other questions down in the chat for anything that somebody wanted to know. So I kind of just riffed this. But yeah, this is what I'm getting for kind of like the energies, the feelings, probably some of the things that was going on towards, moments leading up to everything with Liam, unfortunately. And I hope his family and stuff like that, wishing all of them condolences. And I don't think one more thing I will mention, I don't think this was purposeful, in a sense of like, I feel like it was kind of like a mistake. I don't feel like this was malicious. I don't feel like this was like intentional, in a sense of like somebody pushing him or something over. It kind of feels like, hey, I wanted to stand out here and kind of feel the breeze, but then, everything else happened. It just happened so fast and I tumbled or fell or blacked out or whatever the case may be. or I was playing around and slipped, and yeah, that's what it's giving. It doesn't feel intentional in that sense of like I purposely did this, but it kind of gives like mistake energy, like I quite didn't mean for this to happen. So yeah, that's my reading. Okay, let me know what you all think down in the comment section below. If you are watching this on replay, share your thoughts. If there was something that I brought up, or you know, something that I mentioned that you can expand upon, let's chat about it down in the comment section below as well. With that, this concludes my reading, my One Direction reading. Yeah, if you like this reading, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more readings like this, make sure to hit that notification bell and hit that thumbs up button, okay? So other people know to watch this as well. And subscribe. And with that being said, I wish you all a great night or day, wherever you are. Hopefully you like this reading, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.